WIIFTBP.
WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Kris the Critic Relationship Hour with Gina B. Why you are not married. Number one, you ain't all that. I know that's hard for y'all to swallow. I don't look as good as my 22-year-old self. People need to realize that. You just ain't all that. And I get it. I got this master's degree. I went to this school, that school. I worked hard for this job, for this house. And then she over there got that man. And you don't have one. Men are very simple creatures. So, ladies, for you very accomplished ladies, I got some advice for them.
What's that?
I always say it like this. You can write this one down. Be a kitten, not a cat. What does that mean, Kris?
What does that mean?
You ever played with a kitten? It's real friendly. It almost acts like a puppy. And you want to play with it. You want to look at the little kitty. It just makes you feel good. Now, have you ever seen an adult cat? When it feels like it, it might rub against your leg and move away. But is that men like kittens?
Kittens will play with anybody. A cat is particular.
Listen, what did we learn? Men are very simple creatures.
Right.
You can fool us. We want you to laugh at our dumb jokes. So all you super smart women out there, you good-looking women, you see a guy you like, you guys do make it out on a date, he actually pays for the date. When you're actually with that person, the dialogue is happening, the dinner is happening, you say, okay, this might work, this might work. It would help if you act a little blind.
Oh my God, Becky.
You're going to hear me say that a lot. Be nice too.
So you
hear the worst joke ever, but if you sort of like them, laugh at it. There you go. Hey, it's a lot of married women out there. If we got any married women chiming in, if I'm telling a lie,
that one's a fake laugh.
Let me know. Right.
What you're saying is that we should cater to the male ego, and that's what's ultimately going to get us married.
I'm first saying recognize that I think some of us, more women than men, look in the mirror. You ever seen a little lion look in the mirror and see somebody real big? They see somebody a little more fine than what they are. And I'm not calling anybody ugly, so I'm not here to bash anybody.
Let's look at Middle America, okay? Middle America is not attractive.
They're not?
Middle America is largely married.
Okay, I think we're on the same page then. People sort of, we get stuck to reality shows sometime and think we're supposed to have, I got a degree in a house, so I'm supposed to have Idris Elba or his twin.
Well, I mean, have you noticed, so you remember your friends from high school, right? And you remember how they had all of these qualifications for, if she's going to lock me down, she got to be this, that. She's got to have an ass like that.
That's all we really looked at. Stop right there. Yeah, that's really what are men? Simple creatures. We want to be fed. We want you to laugh at us, give us some. And that's it. To get us. What's going on, people? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Kris the Critic Show. I am Kris. This is Gina B. Gina, we got a show.
Hey. I'm just sharing. You always want me to share, and I'm sharing.
I thought you were working.
Sharing is caring.
We're going to move that.
Right? We move that out of the way.
Exactly.
I was sanitizing.
Happy Wednesday, people. Gina B, how are you today?
I'm good. Had some challenges today.
Really? Challenges?
Where's that coming from? That's you.
Is that my phone?
That was you.
Sorry about that, people.
Yeah. There's some challenges today, but it's okay because it's Wednesday and we're halfway through the week. We're more than halfway through the week.
We are live in the What's in It for the Black People Studios.
Hi.
I like this place, by the way.
Yeah. And you know what I like, Kris?
What's that?
I like your Kappa
Yo, baby,
hoodie.
yo.
That is dope.
Thank you.
To the point where, I decided
just didn't have anything else to wear.
I'd wear a reddish hue tonight, just in honor
crimson.
of Kris.
It's crimson.
Exactly.
It's crimson and cream.
Crimson and cream.
But I'll take red and white. Thank you.
Hey.
Yo, to anybody out there, I'm getting that diamond right. I'm working on it. It's a process.
He really is.
Lies in relationships are on tap. Show of hands of anyone who has ever had someone tell them a lie while they're in relationship.
How many hands can I raise?
Shanice, my producer
raised it to the sky.
Our producer raised 2 hands. You've never had anyone lie.
Oh, hell yeah. I said, how many hands can I raise? If I could
anyone
raise
out
every
there,
hand,
hit me a little like.
all of your hands, I would raise.
Yeah, hit the little hand, the blue or white hand, if you've had anyone lie to you ever. I'm just curious.
People lie constantly.
We're going to be talking about lies. This is a circle of trust, an open forum.
Yep.
It's the only way we can learn when we're telling the truth. Now, anyone out there who has ever told a lie?
Oh.
In a relationship.
Haven't we all? I've told lies.
I've told any and every type of lie it was, but it was good reason.
You're like, hand to God, it was a good reason.
I have lied and lied. I have sinned a lot. But before we get into it,
we can't see the comments that are there. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
So comments are not there.
I don't know what's going on, people, but I need to see everybody's comments, please.
Shanice, there we go.
Okay, there we go. We got comments.
We got.
Now I'm saying, shout out, hey Karen, Allen, Kay. We haven't seen you in a while. Brandon, Sectonius. What's up, people? T. Roy in the building. Boosie in the house. Alvin Norton III. How you doing, money?
Hey, brother.
So, why do people lie, Gina B?
There are levels to lie. There are levels. You know what? I think Troy Williams hit it on the head. He can start us off. There are levels to lying.
Absolutely.
And all lies are not created equally, although lying is never a good idea.
Right. Why do you think people lie? Let's just. We're going back to the basics.
Some people lie because they simply. Why do people lie? Why do you think I don't have notes?
I know you don't have notes. She never has notes. She never has notes.
I
call her every Wednesday.
I got notes.
I say, hey, Gina B, here's the topic.
Uh-oh. Bitch.
Sorry. She got notes way neater than my notes.
I got notes. Okay. Some people just lie because they don't know what they're talking about. Like they lie like kind of by accident. You ever known somebody who thinks they know everything? And they...
If they're saying they didn't really believe it, that's technically not a lie.
They double down on just bullshit. Right?
Well, that's a different show.
Right. But it is. I mean, that's a type. If you consider that a lie, that's a type of lie. Some people, and the kind of lie that I hate and that I always get into arguments about because some people claim this is not a lie, is the famed lie by omission. That is when you knew that I would want to know that shit.
We're going to talk about the lie by omission. And granted, we've all used that lie.
You didn't ask.
Probably more than any other lie we've used, and it's probably been used against us. It's not a good thing.
It's the kind of lie you tell your parents, too, when you're like a teenager. Why didn't you tell me you were going over there with so-and-so? You didn't ask.
I look at it, and it's a few reasons, and please add on.
Absolutely.
Because we got to start at the basics so we have a working definitions and we're all on the same page. People lie to avoid conflict, right?
Yes.
Hey. It was nothing, but he was going to blow a gasket. I thought it would be best to omit or not even tell him. Right? I get it.
And that isn't always the best strategy.
People lie to protect their ego. He's been caught 50,000 times lying. Uh-oh.
That's a different kind of lie.
I over here have a whopper on me, but I don't want to look like I'm as bad as him because I can always hold something over his head.
Exactly.
They protect their ego, right?
Yeah. Some people lie because they're revisionist historians.
That is a type of liar. Those people are good.
Yeah, the revisionist history liars.
They'll recall a lie. Some people got great lie.
We were hanging out with Bootsy Collins,
and they go into great detail with the lie. Those people, and those are usually men, right? Men, Women are better liars. We'll get to that on the second half of the show.
Yep.
Women are definitely better liars, but I don't like doing this to you ladies, but
here we go.
Y'all been lying a lot more lately.
Lately? What do you mean lately?
Post 1960s.
Oh, okay. So we're going all the way back to like, sure. You know what? I think the women before the 1960s were lying too. They were just a little more coy about it.
And they were lying less because the consequences.
I don't think we know.
The consequences were bigger. And for everybody who's slightly younger than us, we've only read this. We weren't there.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't think yeah.
The 60s was the women's movement, right?
Uh-huh.
Salaries went up. Yay, good thing. Women less dependent on men. Yay.
Oh, look,
but women
Hunt's
also
here.
cheating and freaking more. Yay. As part of the team.
Look,
men have been doing it forever.
Women
Y'all were
have
owed
been
that.
getting their freak on.
Y'all were owed that.
For years.
But more so.
How do you know?
At one point, I was single. And
yes.
when I was single, I have, what's the good word for it? I've had relations.
You're a hoe?
With many, the women in a relationship.
Okay. So why do you think that differs from the 1960s? A decade in which we didn't live, but whatever. Like, why do you think that differs?
Let's talk.
Yeah, let's
That's
get
the second half of the show.
Back to that.
I got two more reasons.
Okay, what are your two reasons? What are your two reasons?
People lie to protect their image.
Yes.
Similar to before. You don't want to.
They do.
You don't want to acknowledge like, oh my God, I'm a liar too. I'm perfect. That's usually the goody two shoes in the relationship.
Yeah.
And lastly, they lie to avoid hurting their partner's feelings. Hey, babe, am I bigger than your last lover?
Does my butt look good?
Of course you are.
You are Donkey Kong.
Right.
Yeah.
You are hung like nobody's business.
Or do I look fat in this?
Exactly. So
he ain't gonna look at you. Nah, babe, you don't look fat in that.
So you want to answer that before I got your question?
No, go ahead. You got a question? Go for it.
And this is a question for everyone. And again, I don't know why I keep losing comments. Okay, there's everybody's comments.
Yeah, I keep losing them too. Like you have to swipe or some shit.
Exactly, Kay Allen.
Yeah.
She said women lied more pre-1960 because they had to lie.
Point.
She's saying they lied more pre-1960.
She's proving my point.
She is proving her point.
Okay.
But those lies, and both of you will admit, weren't flying across the country fucking a dude in 3 states.
Well, technology was not there.
They didn't have jobs, all right?
So
they were bigger lies, is all I'm saying. These are bigger lies.
Those are like some really high quality lies. I mean,
Women
people that are flying in 3 states and hooking up with
well, 2 states, 1 state. My point is those women were less likely to do that type of lie. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because the circumstances.
That's all I'm saying. That's why I said you'd agree.
Fine.
So
it isn't that they wouldn't be prone to it. But anyway, go ahead.
The question to you and you all out there, and if anyone says, yes, I'd like to hear your reason why, and if you say no, so I'd like to hear your reason why. This is therapy when we talk about this. Is it ever okay to lie in a relationship? And if so, why? Gina B, you first.
If you've got a fantastic, wonderful surprise for them and you have to cover it up.
Why would you not tell someone the truth? Why would you lie?
Because you don't want them to, you want them to be surprised in the moment in which they're supposed to be surprised. Like when you're proposing to somebody, right? When you're proposing to somebody.
Stop that. That's good. Is it ever okay to lie about something that maybe they would not want to know about?
I personally don't think so.
Shanice, you want to weigh in? I'd like to hear what you think. We'd like to hear you.
What do you agree with, Shanice?
Can we hear you?
I agree with Gina B. I think that's a good reason to lie. I don't really feel the need to lie. I'm just mature
It's Sasha
enough.
Adams.
But have you?
Is Sasha Adams really watching? Sasha, hey.
Have you? So you're saying that there's no reason to lie ever? If it's something that they don't want to hear, you guys are always saying,
okay,
you know what? I'm going to tell the truth.
Let's put it this way. I am a person who appreciates the truth. I'm not the one.
We all do.
Remember the movie A Few Good Men? You can't handle the truth.
Right.
I can handle the truth.
You can't.
Jack Nicholson was not talking
Everybody
to me.
thinks they can handle the truth.
Let me be clear. I would rather have the truth because if you have the truth, then that's something that I can work with. Then I can make a decision, right?
Okay.
What I don't like about lies is in relationships is that you preclude me from making a decision based on what's actual.
They thought maybe they thought it was a small white lie and they were protecting you.
Small white lie on their part. What are the okay? Give me an example of an innocent lie.
None of them are
in your view.
All these, there are a few scenarios that maybe even, I shouldn't say this, Mrs. Critic isn't watching. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out here. He's traveling, hopefully working somewhere, making some paper. But what if, because at one point you had this Instagram thing going.
Yeah, that career.
You didn't know about that, did you? Gina B used to
I have one picture.
do a little Insta modeling.
In workout clothes. Anyway, go ahead.
OnlyFans.
Oh, I wish I were making that kind of paper. Please.
So,
Give me,
can we do a show on
don't
OnlyFans?
sleep. I would.
I am late to the game. This whole marriage thing, but we'll talk about that. But
these people, anyway, go ahead.
an ex innocently slides into your little DMs, flirts a little bit. Nothing transpires. Maybe you didn't just shut them off because, you know nothing's happening.
You enjoyed it?
Nothing's happening because you didn't. Whatever the case, you don't mention it. You omit it, as you said earlier. Shanice, I want to hear you too, y'all saints.
Okay.
Is it wrong for you to withhold that? Because that is a lie per our definition of omission.
So it depends on.
Is it a lie? I thought you could handle the truth.
Well, okay, I can handle the truth, but let me tell you when that the omission of that doesn't. If the other person doesn't care. Okay.
Yep.
So if he's like, whatever, like if he's like,
but you don't know that until you tell him.
If you've told him things like this before and he's like, whatever.
Let's just assume.
Like my fiance, he'd be like, well, I will tell him because I think it's funny. When I get like weird, like I would get some
What if you thought
DMs,
he wouldn't like it
and he's just
it
like,
would cause more questioning? Would you still tell him?
That's not my world.
Hard to put yourself in an equation. You wouldn't. That's the answer.
Is that the answer? The answer.
What, Shanice, would you in that situation? Would you tell someone?
No.
Because it's not necessary, right?
No.
But you do agree it's a lie.
No.
You don't think
That's
omitting
not a lie.
something
You
is
don't
a
think
lie?
that's a lie?
No.
Omission is a lie.
Okay.
If somebody gave head to the mailman and their husband didn't directly ask, "Did you suck the mailman's dick?" He didn't ask you that, but you didn't tell him.
Okay, so
Something going on, baby. He didn't ask you directly. You lied.
If you
Just saying.
were sucking the mailman's dick,
I wouldn't
then
suck
you-
the mailman's dick.
okay, well, whatever. If you are of the moral, if that is your shit, that's your thing, that you're sucking the mailman, that's a whole different set of issues. So the lie.
My point
the
is
smallest.
omission. You said it. I didn't say it.
I did say it.
You
It's
said
information that he'd
omission
want.
was
That
a
is
lie.
by omission.
Any man would want to know that.
I saw a Seinfeld rerun once.
I like the way you avoided
No,
question.
where the person was lying and they'd yada over it. So they'd say, like, if the mailman's dick was being sucked, right? They'd say, "Oh yeah, the mail was delivered. Yada yada yada. I'm here." And the yada meant I sucked the mailman's dick. Right?
Got it. Right.
So that would be omitting because you're omitting some information that you know that person will really want to know. And
So you would omit it. You'd lie.
I wouldn't suck the mailman's dick.
All right. Let's go back to. Let's go back
stay
to.
on point here. Okay.
If you did suck the mailman's dick,
I wouldn't.
but if
You should see our mailman. You wouldn't even ask that question.
you might, if you did, if the mailman had an incredibly handsome dick and you accidentally fell on it
Look.
and licked it a little bit, I would suggest you don't tell.
If my mailman had a amazing look,
Whatever the case should be.
he would be.
But let's go back to the DMs. Let's leave the mailman alone.
Okay.
That small thing that maybe it's more trouble than it's worth to tell him. You tell him anyway. When it meant nothing, you are going to see this person.
Well, here's the risk you run when you do that. I would say don't.
I need a co-host who can answer a question.
I would say omit it. I would say don't omit it because if it's a situation where they found out later, and they would be like, "Why didn't you tell me about that?"
No, you shut it down.
Something always comes out.
You said, "Hey, I enjoyed it when we were together, but there isn't a chance to help."
Always comes out. It always does.
Shanice wants to win. Go ahead, Shanice.
Can I share a story?
Absolutely. I love stories. Go ahead.
Unless I'm telling them. Go ahead.
Because then they last forever. You got a minute to tell this story.
Okay, so I dated a guy in jail.
Bad.
I dated a guy in jail,
I
and
won't say that.
We'll get into that later. Okay, go ahead.
just keeping it real.
Okay, keep it real, girl.
So I dated a guy in jail, and we started off as friends. I told him everything.
You met him while he was in jail?
No, we grew up together.
Oh, that's
okay.
different.
That's
Okay,
different.
I got it. Go ahead.
So I told him everything as if he was my best friend.
Right.
And a lot of the time his response was, okay, I didn't really want to hear that because he was starting to like me. So after a while, he was just like, stop telling me that stuff, So
Well, give me an example. Or make up something similar.
Encounters with other guys.
I got it. Were you dating him at the time or y'all just friends?
No.
Okay, wait. You were just talking first.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So after a while, he decides, okay, well, I really like you. I want to take it further, but, just don't get pregnant. Don't fall in love. Don't catch anything. Do you? And so.
You're like this. You too up in there. No, I'm just playing.
Don't drop
go
shit
ahead.
in the shower.
So I did meet. Months down the line, he felt like something was going on because my patterns were off. And
Yeah, he got a lot of time on his hands to notice that.
and so he asked for the truth, and I told him the truth, and it caused a lot of grief.
Now, let me ask you this. If that truth were something small, like someone in your DMs, would you still would have withheld that?
No.
Right. Because you felt he could handle it, right?
Yep.
So, again, people lie. And that's
Also,
a common example of why people lie. You don't want to hurt the other person.
You
Because,
don't. But here's the difference.
I will tell you. Go ahead. I'll let you
I'll tell you the difference. The difference is that they had a situation where he's like, do you.
I thought I heard her say that too.
Right.
He didn't mean do. He meant do yourself.
I don't think that he meant do yourself.
He meant for you to do yourself.
Did he mean for you to relate to yourself?
Not to someone else, because he's only doing him.
Or
Hopefully.
well,
or mailman incarcerated. No, I was playing. I wouldn't.
So no, let's define do you. When he said do you, did he mean you can go out and like hook up and get your needs met?
Right.
I just don't want to know. Was that what he meant?
I can't be sure. There was no specific criteria. So outside of don't have children, don't fall in love, and don't catch anything, I was doing me.
But that means that if you so that means you have sex, just don't catch a disease, don't have kids. So basically, it's implied that you're going to have sex.
It's not
with somebody else.
You skip to the end of the book, and we'll talk about communication at the end of the show.
But I'm just saying.
But that's what ultimately what
I'm trying to solve the problem. Okay, go ahead.
Unfortunately, most people, if you are amongst the land of the living, lying is quite common. Period.
It is.
You've lied or withheld. Your fiance has. My wife has. I'm fucking you up when I see you. Any of my lies were innocent, right? Right? Mine were innocent. If you're looking at this, you've lied. You've been, Now, doesn't mean go question the hell out of somebody, right? Most of these lies aren't things that would make you leave them. Okay?
Yeah, but and that's the problem. The problem is it precludes you from making decisions that you would make if you were to know the truth. So you robbed me of my ability.
It, but I in this case, most of the lies are things that you wouldn't have left them. You just talk shit, right?
Uh-huh.
But know that
we can't see the comments, Shanice.
Anytime one lies.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Anytime one lies, that does lessen the compassion, the empathy, the trust. It does knock away at the relationship, right? Because ultimately, if you're lying that much and you're telling, they're thinking, when can I trust you? Lie, it's just not a good thing. The best thing to do is not fuck up, right? But we are human and we all fuck up. I'm just letting you know. You think your little white lies aren't hurting. If he finds out or she finds out there's been a string of little white lies, it's going to lead to more. So that's just lying, period. It's a bad thing, right? It's a bad thing.
It is a bad thing. And it erodes the trust.
Absolutely. And both people, any relationship, one needs to feel safe.
Right.
That's ultimately what we want, right?
Yeah.
And without feeling safe, wherever your relationship is, it's not going to grow. Okay?
Right.
It's not going to progress. It's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse.
Right.
True.
Are we taking a break or you?
What's going on? We got about a minute or two to break.
Okay, cool.
I was trying to see.
I was trying to see the comment, Shanice.
You know what?
Okay, scroll.
We're having some technical difficulties, people. Boosie said, Shanice talks.
Yeah.
You don't know the convincing I hear. She's like, I just sort of like staying in the background and not really talking much. And I was like, this is a talking show.
And Alvin's like, I can't see her face. Well, because she's in the booth, because she is running the board. That's why you can't see
Wait a minute. So somebody said, can't see her face. She's straight, dog. She's straight. We'll get out here one day.
Man.
Maybe for the second half of the show, if I can get somebody to run the board, we plop her down right here in the seat, and she joins us for the second half of the show. We see I threw that out there? See I put you on the spot? She's not going to say anything for a while now.
She's going to be like, okay, I'm done. Not saying shit.
So, yeah, forgetting to tell somebody is bad. Now, what gets even worse, and we're going to take a break after this. I want everybody to talk about, think of the biggest whopper you've told or been told. Everyone will tell the whopper that they've been told, but very few will tell the biggest whopper that
they've told. I'm trying to think.
I know I've lied about whereabouts. I'm all on a boat somewhere, and when I'm in a conference, I've done it all.
I'm a terrible liar because I don't want to. There's
any woman who says they're a terrible liar has fucking lied. Anyway, but
I mean, yeah, I've lied about things, and then I've got
women are better liars.
Don't do it anymore.
So here's where I'm going with that.
Where are you going?
Because any lie gets exponentially worse when a partner says or asks you to acknowledge a particular lie and you choose to double down and stick to the lie and eventually find out.
You know what?
Oh, those are the worst.
I used to date a guy. See, first of all,
we got to take a commercial break.
We got to take a break, but let's just end with the fact.
Fuck the commercial break.
Yeah, fuck it.
We're taking a break.
We're taking a break, but
go ahead. Go ahead.
I only asked him questions I knew the answer to, and when he would double down, it was so much worse. Anyway, break time.
Well, we'll get back to that.
Yeah, we will.
We'll be back in 2 ticks. Don't go anywhere. Type in those lies you've told. We'll analyze this. We'll come back, break it down.
We want to know.
Kris and Gina will be back with Shanice, hopefully.
Whoop.
WIIFTBP.
Kris the Critic Relationship Hour with Gina B. Why you are not married. Number one, you ain't all that. I know that's hard for y'all to swallow. I don't look as good as my 22-year-old self. People need to realize that. You just ain't all that. And I get it. I got this master's degree. I went to this school, that school. I worked hard for this job, for this house. And then she over there got that man. And you don't have one. Men are very simple creatures. So, ladies, for you very accomplished ladies, I got some advice for them.
What's that?
I always say it like this. You can write this one down. Be a kitten, not a cat. What does that mean, Kris?
What does that mean?
You ever played with a kitten? It's real friendly. It almost acts like a puppy. And you want to play with it. You want to look at the little kitty. It just makes you feel good. Now, have you ever seen an adult cat? When it feels like it might rub against your leg and move away. But is that men like kittens?
Kittens will play with anybody. A cat is particular.
Listen, what did we learn? Men are very simple creatures.
Right.
You can fool us. We want you to laugh at our dumb jokes. So all you super smart women out there, you good looking women, you see a guy you like, you guys do make it out on a date. He actually pays for the date. When you're actually with that person, the dialogue is happening, the dinner is happening. You say, okay, this might work, this might work. It would help if you act a little blind.
Oh my God, Becky.
You're going to hear me say that a lot. Be nice too.
So you
hit a worst joke ever, but if you sort of like them, laugh at it. There you go. Hey, it's a lot of married women out there. If we got any married women chiming in, if I'm telling a lie,
that one's a fake laugh.
Let me know. Right.
What you're saying is that we should cater to the male ego, and that's what's ultimately going to get us married.
I'm first saying recognize that I think some of us, more women than men, look in the mirror. You ever seen a little lion look in the mirror and see somebody real big? They see somebody a little more fine than what they are. And I'm not calling anybody ugly, so I'm not here to bash anybody.
Let's look at Middle America, okay? Middle America is not attractive.
They're not?
Middle America is largely married.
Okay, I think we're on the same page then. People sort of, we get stuck to reality shows sometime and think we're supposed to have, I got a degree in a house, so I'm supposed to have Idris Elba or his twin.
Well, I mean, have you noticed, okay, so you remember your friends from high school, right? And you remember how they had all of these qualifications for, if she's going to lock me down, she got to be this, that. She's got to have an ass like that.
That's all we really looked at. Stop right there. Yeah, that's really what are men?
Simple creatures.
We want to be fed.
But,
we want you to laugh at us, give us some, and that's it. To get us.
Yeah. Ooh, I miss your kiss. Oh, your kiss is one of a kind. It feels so nice. Girl, you do it right. I miss. Oh, girl, you don't go too fast. You take your time. Just how I miss. Hey. Oh, you kiss it, then I'm drifting off your love. Keeps me floating, girl. I miss. And ooh, it feels so good. I wanna come down. Girl, I'm missing that love. Come on. Ooh, babe, I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. Oh, babe, I'm missing all those kisses.
Welcome back to the Kris the Critic Show, people. I am Kris with Gina B. If you are just joining us, this week's topic, lies and relationships. We spent the first half talking about types of lies, why people lie.
The number's on the screen, by the way.
We have a phone number?
Yeah, we do. It's on the screen.
Let me finish explaining to folks. That's your phone. That's sort of up. We spent the first portion of the show talking about why people lie to avoid conflict, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, self-image, ego, et cetera.
All that.
Is there a reason ever to lie? And we use the example. Someone sliding into your DMs. Mm-hmm. Nothing happened. You shut it down, but they were flirting hard. You know, I mentioned what they used to do, how they used to smack it up, flip it, rub it down. You're just like, oh, my God, you're so crazy. And then you shut it down. But would you tell your man, Gina B said she would not. She's a smart woman. Even though that's technically a lie. I know you don't like acknowledging that. But I have found out, people, one of the other producers stopped by in the break and said, hey, why don't you take any calls?
Yeah, we haven't done that yet.
I didn't even know that was like a whole capability.
We know that was a thing.
Right? And he's going to let us use, because he has a show, WIIFTBP Wednesdays.
Which is off the chain.
I think there's a phone number that he
There's a phone number on the screen.
Why don't I have it?
It's on the screen. Look.
What screen?
It's up right. It's in red and below.
What?
See in the bottom? It's 312-600.
Why can't I see it?
7652. If you want to ask a question, yeah, sweetie, it's down here. Look,
where?
It's in this little red box that's being covered up.
We have a number if you'd like to call in. So, DJ, if someone hypothetically calls in, see what they want to talk about, come right here and whisper it to me. I want to hear what they got to say. We just ain't going to let you jump on here promoting
you're not just going to be...
If they come on here, what you mean? They finna answer like the question about lying and cheating, right?
Yeah, that's what they have to answer. Otherwise, it's going to be, they're going to get cut off.
Well, I guess this is live. We have no way to screen you.
Live, right?
You mad people.
So,
you were saying right before we left, and if you want to call in and you got an experience where I really want to hear if you lied, but if you just got to tell on somebody else.
But if you got a really good one someone's told you, let us know.
We'd like to hear about it. Let's break it down.
We want to know.
By the way, Shanice says she may come out next week. It's possible she may be able to come out, period.
And we mean come out into the room. She's not coming out of anywhere,
Yeah, she's not coming out.
Coming out.
If you want to come out.
I mean, I don't know.
Hold on.
We're not mad if you want to.
I'm not trying to get shut down
by the alphabet people, because they shut people down, cancel people.
I hate the baby. Can't stand his music.
I don't care about the baby.
Hate him. What were you saying before we went to the break?
I was talking about how doubling
Somebody's
down.
on the phone already? Hold on.
Oh, we got a caller?
Who we got?
Who?
I don't even know how this works.
Well, we're going to see in a second. This is new. You guys are experiencing this for the first time with us.
Hey, DJ, if it's one of my ex-girlfriends about to snap off on the show,
look
off. For me to hang up on them. Not that they would call.
I'd like to talk to them.
God forbid.
Okay, let's see who we got here.
Who we got?
I think we got Jay on the line. Jay, right, Jay?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Jay. What we got?
I just wanted to say, if you're in a relationship and you decide that for a moment you want to be with someone else, not that you're trying to leave the person you're with,
right?
But for a moment, you want to be in a relationship with somebody else.
Are we just talking about physically, Jay?
For about 15
to 20 minutes? Yeah, I'm talking about physically.
Yeah,
why else would you be?
Exactly. I've done that, Jay. So let's see what you got to say.
Is the
Jay.
moment 20 minutes? Or okay, go ahead.
Well, it depends on the experience.
Okay, so what do you
I just want to say, I just think, why would you tell what you did if there's no infections involved?
Infection?
That's my whole point.
You mean there's got to be
everybody, gonorrhea, whatever. If the other person, infection.
Oh.
If the other person, if they think you in a good relationship, they feel like they're in a good relationship.
But
why would you want to mess that up? Because you wanted to step out for a minute.
Okay, wait. Back up.
Gina B.
What? Go ahead.
Okay, I'll let you answer, but I got the answer for Jay.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Take it,
Jay,
bro.
I'm going to let my co-host go first.
Because if they think...
I understand, Jay. Go ahead.
I bet you do.
Well, we all know Gina B would tell the truth in a minute. She already said she put glass in your food.
She says that. I don't know. I think all women lie,
Gina
Jay.
B is very honest. She'll tell you straight up.
Jay, all women lie, Jay. Jay, they all lie. But, okay, go ahead, Gina B.
Well, no, that ain't true. Gina B is very honest.
Look, ask my fiance. He'll tell you. I tell him more than he needs to know. Anyway, my point is, if the person that you're in a relationship with thinks that they're in an exclusive relationship and you're stepping out for these moments with anybody you think is hot or whatever it is that is tripping your trigger, then that's the problem, is that you are lying to them about what kind of relationship you're in. So that is, even if there's not an infection. So we talk, like, if there's no gonorrhea, you are still lying to them about what kind of relationship you're in. Is my point.
Correct. And Jay, I'm gonna be serious. I'm gonna put.
And I disagree with that, but I'm listening.
I'm gonna put my. But kiss, here it is. The realness of it is, Gina B, and I understand. I've done what Jay did.
I'm so
a lot
confused.
of men. A lot of men have. A lot of women have. Because they figure no harm, no foul, right?
She don't need
however, well, it's not just men. It's women do that too. I've been a man with a woman seeing someone, but I'm gonna tell you, it may not seem like it's doing harm, Jay. And for you know what, you might get away with it, but what is you're doing is, God forbid, they do find out, and you were living under false pretense. So yeah, you're right. You might get away with it. It might go on, but if that comes out later, it's a real bad thing.
And see, let me tell you how people get up.
But that's a separate issue. That's a separate issue.
Agreed. It is a separate issue.
If they find out versus you telling them, you don't have to tell them. If they don't find out on their own, then it's okay.
You would rather they go to the club and some bitch pulls them to the side like, I hooked up with your man you would prefer that. And then let me tell you, this is how people end up on Dateline. Okay, do you watch Dateline?
That is.
I'm not talking about that either.
Dateline is full to bursting.
If somebody go in the club and someone mentions that, okay, I've been with the person that you're with.
It's low-hanging fruit. You like, I'm going to hit this, be back at the crib, eating breakfast in the morning. I got it. But my thing is, if that's happening, right? How then?
Come on, man. Be honest.
I am.
Be honest.
I've done every.
If you know you can get away with it, and you got away with it, why speak on it? Now you're gonna mess up the whole household. The kids gonna be angry because mom and daddy not happy. It's all types of issues going on.
Okay, if you are worried about messing up your household, then just can you keep it in your pants? Is that possible or no? That's not That's not something that's gonna happen.
Of course you can do that, but also if you're in a relationship with someone else, it can actually add to your relationship. Okay. Because sometimes when you're with that person, you've been with them for a long time, you might start thinking about that other person while you're with the one that you're married to.
Yeah.
Now we're married. Okay. I can't.
Jay, I'm not saying that you can't. Because I want to finish the rest of the show. But Jay brought up an excellent point. I do think
people need to mature a little bit.
I do think
people need to mature a little bit.
Before you get
if you didn't meet somebody as a virgin, come on now. You know they've been with somebody else anyway.
I don't know.
So
I don't know for sure about virgin, but in any event, chances are, if something is amiss in your relationship, that's when something else happens. So I would just suggest fixing that, because if you stepping out like that and it's that easy for you to step out, it's a problem at home.
Now let me just reverse this on you. So say
I got to get back to the show.
Okay, but you got a wife. Okay,
Jay,
so she's lying.
If the producer somehow shut Jay off, I want to come. I want Jay to look tune in next week.
Let's just say you got a woman. She's lying, and the result of her lying ends up in you raising another man's child, and she just decided not to tell you about that. Is that okay?
Hell no. But that's anyway.
All right, I'm just asking. All right, so next we can go next.
If Jay can hear us out there, I like that. Jay was like, "Hey, wait a minute,
Jay was like,
real.
What's up?
Keep that shit real, Chris."
Look, Jay's wife was going to smother him in his sleep one night.
Right.
Go ahead.
We got anybody else? Just turn to confession. Somebody
Anybody
said Jay
who's
trying
not
to
a
double.
hoe, call in.
Somebody said Jay trying to double fist, no infection. Exactly. Jay is what I need to get Jay on Zoom in the studio. We got somebody else?
No.
Well, I can't read that.
Oh, okay. I'm just telling you what the comments are.
What it says?
Oh, look. Tosh Young Levy's watch. Who else is watching?
My wife's supposed to be at work. Who got my wife on?
Nope. So if someone is maybe not a hoe, could call. I don't know.
Right.
But anyway, so let's go back. Let's go back.
Jay said, well, I just fucked the bitch at the club. She was just the club bitch.
That's not information that anybody needs to know.
I strapped up. I didn't get it.
I didn't get an infection. Yes. My dick's not gonna blow up.
Jay rolling them dice. Now back to you until somebody calls in or we get something.
Okay. This is
you
funny.
were mentioning, you're giving us a story.
I was
right before the break. Do
the
you
double
remember
down. That? The double down when I usually if I'm busting a brother, like, because I've done that many times.
Why? First off,
why bust him?
Yeah.
Just because I
say, hey, I got you.
Because so that
you feel good with that.
Then they understand why we're breaking up. They understand why we're breaking up. I want them to understand why we're breaking up.
Okay.
But when I ask questions, I already usually know the answer, especially and guys should know because they hear that sound of my voice. So doubling down is the worst thing that wasn't. I actually had someone once tell me that I saw his car somewhere, and I know the car. Because the car was raggedy. Okay, I know the car.
You know what? It wasn't raggedy when you was dating. It was just fine.
Raggedy.
It was just fine.
It wasn't.
It was good enough to pull you.
Well, not really.
See, they don't like saying that.
It wasn't.
I don't want you and your little old wrinkled up balls anyway. Them wrinkled up balls was fine when you was fondling them.
I didn't say anything. Okay,
People
anyway.
kill me.
So he's going to, I was like, well, were you at X place? And he told me he was someplace that was easily 30 miles away from there. I was like, well, no, because I saw your car at X place. And he was like, didn't see it, wasn't me. Who do you think you are? Like, do you think that I woke up yesterday? Like, I was just like, really? So I now don't know your. So he doubled down on it, which made it even worse for him because that means he was going to be gone anyway. But and then it just got worse from there. So
I just want to say that I love being able to have callers, and I didn't know we could do this.
This is fun, isn't it? I like a caller.
Don't keep that number. That's the number to the WIIFTBP Wednesday show.
That's the
but we're going to get another number. I like that. Is the number still up?
We're going to get a Google number.
Hey, we still got the phone number up.
We do, yeah. Somebody
Anyone
else
that'd
can
like to call in right now, the Kris the Critic Show.
I would like for one of my ladies to call in.
600-7652.
Like Catherine Bomer. I want Catherine to call in, or who else do I want to call
Catherine
in?
Bomer
or
is
Susan
probably,
Nyblack?
I don't know all of our listeners. She's
ready for Catherine?
extremely cerebral and private, similar to a certain producer.
I want to hear.
She'll lurk around.
I want Boosie. I want somebody. Come on, my people. Come on.
I would love.
That's right. See, Catherine Bomer knows.
I want Boosie to call in. I want Chancey, Troy, Khalid. Who else I see on here talking about?
Troy. I want Troy dialing in.
All the people that curse me out that know me on a regular.
Callers, Khalid. Yeah, there we go. That number that's on the screen.
Khalid, call in, man.
Yes.
630-600. Right?
600.
Yeah, 312-600-7652. Call
Reading
in.
is fundamental. Call.
So I was about to ask you something. You were talking
caller. You say what? What?
I was talking. We keep getting distracted because people called in and it excites me.
We're excited about this.
I
so let's talk about different kinds of liars. All right, there
Catherine
are people.
Bowman said, Absolutely not.
Okay, fine. I tried, Catherine. I tried. Okay, so then there are people who She'll
DM me later. If my wife is watching, it's not one of those DMs strictly about the show. See, I did that. Just cut that out the way.
All right. My other favorite kind of liar. Not really.
You got a favorite liar?
Not really.
You've been lied to a lot. Why do people lie to you so much?
I don't know, because it's futile. I have no idea what people lie. So there are people who they minimize. So therefore, what they're admitting to is the tip of the iceberg, right?
Oh, baby,
I only saw it once. It's like you've been dating her for a year and a half.
It was just 2 girls at one time. Who doesn't do that once in their life?
Right, it was 6. So they're the minimizer.
It was just a couple guys at the same time.
Not a big deal. What you talking about? But the minimizer. We got
a phone call.
It's
Who's on the phone?
This is like Christmas. We got callers. This is dope.
All right, let me straighten up the studio.
All right, who we got? Right.
Who we got?
Let's pour him some coffee.
Kris the Critic, who we got on the line?
We have Boosie on the line. Hi, Kris. Hi, Jingle. How are you guys?
Ask and you shall receive.
Boosie, I need you to DM me your address. I would like to send you a bottle of wine because Boosie is here every week.
She's a ride or die.
Yes, I love the show. I love you guys. You're so entertaining. Shout out to Babe for the platform.
We love me.
What's in it for the platform?
Hey.
So keep doing what you're doing. I enjoy listening to you guys every Wednesday.
Hold on. Producers, I need you to snap that for my little sound bite on my reel. Thank you. Okay, Boosie, go ahead.
It's yours, Kris. We'll say.
All right.
But to the topic, which is lying. So Gina needed the female perspective, outside first.
Yeah, because Gina lies on air, but go ahead.
So long and short, to Kris's earlier point, I do agree with you. I think women are a little bit better liars.
Absolutely.
We're more thorough.
Yeah, we're more thorough, and we're usually, a lot more detailed, which we kind of pick that up in.
Y'all slightly smarter. Yeah, you're slightly smarter.
Now,
y'all get caught more though. But go ahead.
It depends. To Gina's point, it depends on what the lie is about. So I'm not going to report every DM I get for a guy asking for my number, but I'm also not going to be lying to you about things that I shouldn't be doing in a relationship.
Right.
I mean, we're married, we're together. I know what line to cross. So if I cross that line, then we cross the lines of the relationship, which means, why are we even together? You should be single.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
I agree wholeheartedly, Boost. Thank you, Boosie.
But
I appreciate
people
that.
tend to do
that's
it.
My 2 cents.
People tend to do it. Thank you, Boosie. Thanks for calling in. And DM me some info. I promise you, Kris and Gina will send you something.
We will. We'll get you a little treat, a little care package.
I need everybody listening out there to participate like Boosie.
See, Boosie, she's our ride or die, and she called. We asked. She called. So let's get into I'll tell you the next type of liar that cracks me up. So there's a minimizer, right, that I just said. And then there's the one that I call square root.
What?
Why? Because they overemphasize everything. How and this maybe this is kind of a general liar.
Why do you call them or her square root?
Here's why. Because when they say, man, I was out and I was I had 81 hoes. You had 9. Take the square root of whatever they say. Because
if he had 3, he basically had
0.
You had you had a possible.
Exactly. A possible. Like spades. I got a possible.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that. So, it's they will overemphasize, or they will count more than they man, I was in traffic. Man, I was in traffic for
but in terms of relationship, that person would never
10.
In terms of relationship, that person would never want to be that person. Well, you're just naming types of liars.
That's a type of liar, but that's all liars don't have to be about cheating. All lies don't have to be about cheating.
The show was lies in relationships.
Yeah, but they all don't have to be about cheating in relationships. They can all, there are other things in relationships.
Absolutely.
There are people who are location liars.
Oh, that's a lie.
Location lying is a real thing.
That's a lie.
I'm just around the corner. You are 2 miles away.
I have a friend of mine, and I don't know why he lies. He's like, shh, be quiet, man. I'm calling my girl. And he'll do this. Yeah, I'll be there in about 2 hours. I'm like, dude, you 10 minutes away. You said you're going home right now.
Right. No, that's a location liar.
I'm like, you trying to catch her into something?
Yeah, I'm about to
if you got to do all of that,
right? Why?
Y'all deserve each
Or
other.
she'll be mad because I'm not. I'm closer.
Usually people say if you got to do all that, you need to go somewhere else. I'm like, no, y'all deserve each other. Both of y'all on that, y'all deserve each other.
Yeah, if she's receiving it, right? Like if she's okay with it because maybe she wants to be deceived.
I think like
there are people. Let's be clear. There are people who, they don't mind being deceived.
Well, I wouldn't say that. No one wants to be deceived, but we all have looked past something.
They accept known deception.
No, it's not bad deception. For instance, hey, honey, does my butt look too flat in this? Okay. No, your ass looks pretty good, actually. I ain't going to even lie to you. He lying, right?
And she knows her butt is flat, so.
But I'm just saying, hey, honey, how's this taste? How's this meal I made?
She knows she can't cook.
You know what? It ain't that bad. I prefer this, but this ain't that bad.
I only vomited once.
He suddenly said, hey, I don't want that shit no more, but it wasn't bad. And you knew it, but he lied.
But she knows she can't cook either.
It goes both ways.
You know what I mean?
He says, hey, babe, I'm up to 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Wasn't that great?
That was
and you're like
30 seconds.
Yeah.
That was like, nah.
I loved it.
Yeah, baby.
I love this.
Give it to me.
You lied. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Dr. Tupon. Like it's just
you got a bunch of stuff that. Oh, we really got 2 minutes left?
That's so rude. How we got 2 minutes left?
You are way too professional.
Just like 2 minutes.
Shanice
Get your ass
held
out of the
up
studio.
a friggin' sign that said 2 minutes.
Thank
Everybody else lets us run way the fuck over. She's out here next week. She's fucking fired. She's out here. It's over. So you better do your hair, whatever. It's already looks straight. And do whatever you got to do.
Do what you
out
gotta
in
do.
these seats.
Is there anything else for the next minute and a half that we need to talk about?
I just want to wrap up.
Wrap.
Right. So at the end of the day, lying is a bad thing. It's not always a reason. Could you read that long thing Troy wrote? I can't see it.
The long thing that Troy wrote. Oh, I try not to be a righteous cat, but I lied my ass off about cooking before.
Absolutely, if it's going to get you that ass. That's a healthy lie. But anyway.
Yeah, until she expects you to make a meal and you fucking don't know how.
All I was going to say is at the end of the day, a relationship, if you want it long term, right? We try to teach that. I mean, not teach that. I preach that on the show. Mm-hmm. If it's not for something superficial, but if you want this person to be with you forever, to wipe your butt when you old, I would suggest telling the truth. It gets you further in the long run.
It does.
So, look, if you like the show, tune in next week. Gina B and I will be back. Like the page. Follow the page. Share the broadcast. Helps us out. From Shanice.
Boosie Road. We getting you a non-jail boyfriend.
Gina B and Kris the Critic. We out of here. We see you next week. Peace and love. Be safe.
Yes.
Just how I miss. Hey, you kiss it, then I'm drifting off your love. Keeps me floating, girl. I miss. And it feels so good. I wanna come back. Girl, I'm missing that love. Come on. Ooh, babe, I'm missing